Okay, I'm going to go over how to complete test 1. So when you're ready, click on test 1 and then hit attempt quiz now. You get 3 hours to complete it. And this covers all the material in chapter 1. So in the first section, it says una conversación. You have been selected to greet a group of international students at your university and need to practice some useful greetings and farewells. Listen to each question or statement and select the response that most logically follows. So you'll play this audio and then you will hear statements and then you'll pick the statements that would follow either the question or the statement that you hear in numbers 1 through 8 in the audio. Then for number 2, it says, es formal. Do you know when to use formal language? So based upon what you found in the book where it talks about different greetings, it showed you that certain greetings were formal greetings and certain ones were informal. So based on that information that you studied on pages 4, 5, decide whether these greetings are formal or informal. And then you're going to write that in this space. I think I'm actually going to go through and change it. I'll put an A in front of formal and a B in front of informal. So you will just have to write A, B to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so down here, it says cierto or falso. Read the following 2 conversations and decide whether each statement is cierto, true, or falso, false. So you'll read the conversation 1 and conversación 2, and then you'll decide if the statements that follow are cierto or falso. Again, I'm going to go back in and put a little A or a B in front of these so that you will have to only write A if it's cierto, B if it's falso, to make it easier and to avoid spelling errors. Down here, though, it says letras, letras, y más letras. Select the word that you hear spelled from each group below. And I think I'll do the same thing here to avoid having spelling errors. I'll put an A, B, C in front of each of these words. So you can just write A, B, C on the blanks below. But you'll play this audio and it's going to spell a word for you. If it's spelling lunes, L-U-N-E-S-A, then you'll write an A here. If it's spelling lata, L-A-T-A, you'll write a C here. Okay, so if we go down here in La Clase de Matemáticas, your younger cousin is practicing for his math quiz tomorrow. Listen as he says each math problem out loud, then choose the option that matches the equation you hear. So he's going to say like 12 más 8 son 20. If he says that, you'll write a little A here. If he says 20 menos 2 son 18, you would write a C here. So he's going to say it in Spanish, and you need to find the numbers that match what he's saying in Spanish and write A through C. Here, ¿cuántos hay? Your Spanish professor has asked you to catalog the contents of an old storage room and present by writing out the words and the number given in parentheses. Be sure to pay attention to gender agreement where necessary. So you are writing these numbers in words. Like if you have 5, you write cinco. Just be careful with 1, whether 1 is being used by itself or with another number like 41, 21. Remember that 1, when it describes something masculine, becomes un, and when it describes something feminine, it becomes una. And if you use that mush together form, with 21, that you also have to put that accent mark on it if you're dropping the O. Here it says los pronombres personales. Matthew, a beginning Spanish student, wrote a short letter to a new friend to practice the verb ser. He forgot to include the subject pronouns. Subject pronouns are like yo, tú, él, ella, usted, nosotros, vosotros, etc. Those are the words that you're going to fill in here. So you're going to look for the verb, see what the spelling of the verb is, and does that correspond to tú or yo, etc. And those are the words that you'll write in the blanks here. La forma correcta de ser. Learn some characteristics of the following people and things by completing the sentences with the correct form of the verb ser. So you're going to take ser, you're going to change the spelling to reflect who it is that's interesting or who it is that's extroverted or what your favorite subject is, so on and so forth. Here it says, ¿Qué hay en la clase? Read each of the following statements carefully, then based on what you see in the picture, decide whether each is cierto or falso. Again, I'm going to put a little A and a B in front of cierto, falso. So if this statement is true, if what they said matches what you see, then you'll put an A here. If it does not, you'll put a B. Here, ¿cuál es la fecha? You are trying to explain to a friend of yours that dates are expressed differently in Spanish, but he just doesn't seem to understand. To help him write out each of the dates in a complete sentence in Spanish using hoy es. So that part's been given. You're basically putting in the day and the month. Just or maybe some other pieces. There are some other pieces. Sometimes you are filling it in with day. So you're writing out that the date and filling in whatever is missing. And just remember that in Spanish, the day comes before the month. So this is not January the 12th, but it's the 1st of December. Okay, so here El Calendario de Isabel, you just purchased a new planner to keep track of your Spanish homework and discovered that your helpful friend Isabel filled in some important information for you. Answer the following questions and complete sentences in Spanish based on the information provided in the calendar. Okay, so it asks you questions and pieces have been given. You just need to fill in the rest of the statement. So it's asking probably for the date or a day. So just make sure you fill in the correct day or date that it's asking for. Here, practicamos los artículos indefinidos. Match each sentence with the appropriate indefinite article. Be sure to pay attention in number and gender to match your agreement. So, and again, you can just write A, B, C, D on the space here. Practicamos los artículos definidos. Fill in the blank with the appropriate definite article. Be sure to pay attention to number and gender agreement. Remember the definite article is el, la, los, las. So you're picking the el, la, los, las that would make the most sense in these sentences. Los adjetivos. Listen to the following description of a group of friends. Based on the information in the description, select the answer to complete each of the following statements. So you'll listen to the audio here. And then based on what you heard, you decide what is Carlos like? Is he introvertido, introvertida, extrovertido, extrovertida? And again, you can just put A, B, C, D. Here, descripciones de estudiantes. Complete the description of the university student with the correct word from the word bank. I think I'm going to go back again and put A, B, C, D in front of them. And you'll just put A, B, C, D on the line below, making sure that your adjective matches the person that it's describing. And in this case, I think they're usually using opposites. So if Ramiro isn't lazy, then he's what? Que barbaridad. Last night you wrote some creative sentences for Spanish class on index cards. However, your little brother thought it would be funny to cut off the last word in each sentence. Find the word that completes each sentence. So you will just read these statements and then match them with the words below, and all you need to write is A through G in the space. Here, I think again, I'm going to put an A, B, C, D in front of these words, so you can just put that in the blanks below, but it says muchas preguntas. Enrique is a very inquisitive young man. Today he has several questions for his friend Adriana. Complete their dialogue with the appropriate words and expressions from the list. So read the dialogue and fill it in with the words that are missing. And again, I'm going to put A, B, C, D in front, and you can just put A, B, C, D in the spaces provided. Here, sabes formar el singular y el plural. After carefully writing some sentences to describe the things in your classroom, you notice that you miscounted. Rewrite each of the following sentences, changing them from singular to plural or plural to singular. So if the sentences are plural, if they have S's on them, you need to rewrite them to where they don't. And if they don't have S's on them, you need to rewrite them so that they do. And you want to pay attention to the noun. Everything agrees with the noun. So if the noun is plural, then you need to make sure the article is plural, the verb is plural, and the adjective is plural. Okay, and that's everything you have to do for test 1.